Thank you very much, Cian Corla. The main purpose of the bill is to establish new independent statutory authority to be known as the Agri-Food Regulator, the Office for Fairness and Transparency in the Agri Supply Chain. The objective of the new office will be to promote the principles of fairness and transparency in the agriculture, marine and food supply chain. It is intended that it will principally do this in the following ways, as explained by the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine, by performing a price and market analysis and reporting function. The regulator will bring greater transparency to the agriculture and food supply chain by carrying out analysis and regularly publishing reports on price and market data, enhancing understanding and enforcement of agri-food unfair trading law, including being designated as National Enforcement Authority for the Unfair Trading Practices Directive 2019-633. The regulator will have the powers to investigate suspected breaches, promote alternative dispute resolutions procedures between suppliers and buyers, bring proceedings for offences under this bill and refer cases to the Director of Public Prosecutions where the regulator believes that an indictable offence has been committed. The bill provides for the imposition of fines for indictable offences concerning non-compliance with the rules of up to a maximum of 10 million or 10% of aggregate turnover, whichever is the greater, promoting public awareness about agri-food unfair trading law and related matters, including through public information campaigns. The agri-food sector is a significant part of Ireland's economy through its exports and employment. In 2021, there were 15.2 billion total agri-food sector exports, and it is estimated that the sector accounted for more than 6% of Ireland's modified gross national income in 2020. This sector, this office must ensure, Minister, that a fair share of the consumer euro goes to the farmer and the fisherman. And in regulating unfair trading practice, if it does not ensure a viable price for farmers for their work and investment, then we will see more farmers in horticulture, potatoes and pig and poultry sectors go to business. Large retailers using their dominant position to drive down prices to farmers to unviable levels, often below cost of production, has to stop. Can you, Minister, provide the Dáil with a guarantee that this will end with this practice? In Ireland, meat factories have consistently been cutting prices while farmers are struggling with rising input costs. Confirmation of this is provided in the agricultural price indices released by the Central Statistics Office, which shows just how much input costs for farmers have increased over the past year. It is profoundly disturbing to see that meat processors doing their utmost to push down the prices, then farmers are grappling with costs of production that are completely out of control. For example, the CSO agricultural price indices show that the cost of feedstuffs increased by 34.2% in the 12 months to July last year. The input price index for fertiliser is up by 133.8%, and energy prices are 51.3% higher than 12 months ago, according to the CSO figures. Increases can also be seen in output price sub-indices, where the price of milk rose by 51.1% in the year, and the cattle prices increased 16% annually. Right now, our primary producers, particularly those in the low-income sheep, suckler and beef sectors, are facing a perfect storm, with costs continuing to rise while factories appear even more determined to pay producers as little as possible. It is a mistake to believe that farmers can shoulder these additional costs and stay in business. It is time for meat processors to show some solidarity with their suppliers. It is also time for retailers and consumers and the government to get to grips with the reality that food cannot be produced out of thin air. Therefore, we remain sceptical as to whether this new regulatory authority will have the sufficient powers to take on the vested interest in the beef cartel here in Ireland. And maybe, Minister, you might be able to clarify if they can. But other questions do remain open here in the Dáil to be for answers. No doubt, this is a hugely difficult time for farmers and fishermen, inshore fishermen. The livelihoods are in serious danger, and that is why the Rural Independent are putting forward a motion next week to at least raise the crisis that inshore fishermen are finding at this time. We also find the larger fishermen now find themselves having to decommission in huge numbers. So the supply of Irish fish from Irish waters are under massive threats. Extra quotas seem to have eluded us down through the years, which is astonishing. And we have, even the bluefin tuna quota even though it has been applied for this year, has eluded us down through the years due to total inactivity by the department and failing in its duty to fight for the case. We have fishermen that their lives are in danger. I know a fisherman, and I contacted the Taoiseach, and he failed to come back to me. The previous one did know better. In the near ramming of an Irish fishing vessel off the southwest coast just before Christmas. They were continually surrounded by a foreign vessel for a number of days. Now, they reported all these to the relevant authorities and nobody done anything about it. So hopefully our committee in Marine and Marine Committee will be able to deal with this going forward, because we have to find answers. Who's protecting Irish fishing vessels out in our seas? There's also a massive threat to our food supply. We heard Minister Ryan yesterday stating that there will be a cut in the national herd. Now, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have continuously told us that will never happen. So I don't know, are they in conflict with each other? Are they talking with each other? Or is there just a little bit of a nod and wink going on? To me, it's a nod and wink because what Fianna Fáil have decided in Fine Gael is to come up and call it a fancy name. They won't call it cuts, but you can't grow any further. So farmers are going to be, progressive farmers are going to be in dire trouble. And this is obviously the green wagging the tail here. And the only winners in all this, Minister, is going to be the Brazilians. So we're going to have plenty of Brazilian beef in our shelves in Ireland, and we can produce our own product. The next thing will be little or no funding for TAMS, you can see. And I know farmers, like I was talking to two farmers in West Cork recently, two slightly different situations, but they're very interesting. One is a farmer that's growing, and he wanted to invest in his farm. So he asked me, what is going to happen here? And I said, to be honest with you, greens are wagging the tail. Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have gone off the pitch as such. So he has approved from the bank. He pulled the plug on investing in his farm, because he said, if you can't tell me that you couldn't guarantee me that I'm able to progress after investing in a farm and have more cattle, I'm not going to do so. The other situation is somebody's asked to spread slurry differently, and he has to buy equipment. He doesn't have the funding for the equipment. He owes money already for works he has done to the farm, and he's now in a dire situation as well. So these people won't be able to produce food in future in our own country.